Hello, and welcome to this demonstration of the Exabenis Pulse application. In today's demo, we're going to be discussing and walking through the procedure approval process and workflow. Let's get started. Within Exabenis Pulse, a procedure can have multiple states. For example, it could be in a draft state. A draft state is a living document. This is where the user can make changes and modifications, save it, and come back to it later. Once they're happy with it, they will put it into a plan state. Once it's in a plan state, the different approvers on the procedure will review it, and if there are things they want to have changed, they can put it back into a draft state for the initial author to make those changes. Or, if they're happy with the procedure as it is, they will put it into an approved state. Once it's approved, there is an option to take it back into a draft state if, for example, there are changes at the rig that require going through the approval process again. This is kind of your management of change process. Once it's approved, you can also put it into a template. Once you have a template, a user can start with the template, which then puts it into a draft mode, and they go through the process from the beginning. Also, after the procedure is approved, it can become active. Active is when it's operationally active at the rig, either manually going through the steps or getting merged with real-time data and automatically going from step to step based on the real-time data. Once the procedure is finished, it goes into an as-run state. As-run is a completed state and is completely read-only, and no modifications can be made. That being said, you can take an as-run procedure and create a template out of it. Now, let's take a look at the application itself. And here we are in the Exabenis Pulse application. In this demonstration, we're going to show you how to approve a procedure and the approval process within Exabenis Pulse. So let's start off with the procedure. I'm going to select a procedure that we've already started with. It's currently in draft mode, and I can see if I go to the overview and scroll to the bottom, I can find out how many pending approvals there are and those positions. So one of the nice things about Exabenis Pulse is we can associate approvals to a position, not necessarily to a person, seeing as though there are several positions that work multiple shifts, so on 2 weeks, off 2 weeks, but the drilling superintendent role stays the same. So that's part of the approval process within Exabenis Pulse. So let's go back into our operation. So we're currently in draft mode. Let's assume we've completed all the information that we want and it's ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and change this to planned. Here I'm going to associate it with a wellbore, a phase, a rig, and reporting codes. I'll click Save. I'm now in plan mode, so you'll see here that I don't have the ability to make changes or modifications. We're essentially in a read-only mode at this point in time. It even says you are now in read-only mode. So I've reviewed the process, and as an approver, I have two options. I can revert it to draft because there could be something that I didn't necessarily like about it and I wanted to make some changes to it, or I'm happy with it and I can go ahead and approve it. So let's go ahead and approve it. We see that as approved and changed. Now we notice that it still says that we're in plan mode. Well, why is that? So let's go back to our overview and take a look. Here we see that the night drilling supervisor, which was me, did the approval. However, we're still pending approval of the drilling superintendent. So I'm going to log out and log back in as the drilling superintendent. Go ahead and find that procedure. Here we are again, still showing that it's in plan mode. I can come in and I have the same options. If there's something in here that I don't like, I can leave a comment as to changes that need to be made, or if I'm happy with it, I just go ahead and click on approve. You see now I'm in an approved state. So this procedure is ready to go and ready for operations. You notice that there's other options that I can have. So I can save it as a template. So this is the process that we use to create templates for procedures within Exabenos Pulse. I also have the ability to revert it back to a draft once I'm in approved mode. This can happen if you've got some changes at the rig, so potentially there's been some kind of management of change or operational change that requires you to go back through the entire approval process again. This is how we would do that process right here. If we come back into our overview, we scroll down to the bottom, we see that both people have approved it. It gives a time, a date stamp as to when they approved it, and we're good to go. So hopefully that helps you understand the approval process within Exabenos Pulse. We hope you found this demonstration of Exabenos Pulse useful. We create standardized, detailed digital operating procedures that are easy and flexible to set up, saving time and increasing efficiency. With an embedded approval process, increasing consistency and standardization, as well as traceability. Track and validate activity in real time makes it easy to act on procedure responsibilities. Until next time, thank you.